Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in the Amagi. Now it's been a while since we've been in the Amagi, so I figured this would be a fun one to get out into and see what we can get into today. And yeah, I've got a fun one for you guys. It's not going to be the highest damage game, I'm just going to throw that out there. We're going to be in kind of a chess match here for the first 2/3 of this match. So, this is going to be one of those kind of teaching games, hopefully. Alright, so initially the thing that I want to point out is when we start this match, watch what my team does and watch what everything happens on this side, right? So first thing I'm going to do, I always check the games to see what ships are on either side so that I can kind of prepare myself on what I'm going to be facing, right? First thing I notice, there's a Pensacola on the enemy team. He's in a failed division with a Jervis. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, we've got an Ochakov to my left. We've got a destroyer on my right. The destroyer on my right is going to spawn in extremely late for some reason. And so, he's not moving, which means we have no spotting, and these guys do. But our other destroyer kind of goes mid-ish. And I don't know if the Jean Bart fired his guns or whatever, but he ended up getting spotted really early. So just as he disappears, we get the shot off, hopefully to try to hit the guy. And I believe we get some hits, but I don't think we get a whole lot of, yeah, just 1,300 damage out of it. Not a lot. And that's when we see the Odin heading our direction. Okay, so we have a Jean Bart, we have an Odin, and we don't know what else. Obviously, we're detected, line of sight, so we know that there is a destroyer out here somewhere. Okay, there are 3 of them in the match. So now our destroyer has woken up. Our Ochakov, I had just told the Ochakov, don't go out there. We're the only ones here. We've got no help. The rest of our team is congregated around the cap. So we don't have any help other than their crossfires at the moment. So we can't just push straight out into it. We'll get obliterated. So we double back. I get the guns all the way on the other side of the ship, utilizing the concealment of the Amagi, making sure we're not going to get detected and shot at while we're making our big turns. But we're not going to completely abandon this side either. And that's something that a lot of people need to learn. When I say win your side, I don't mean you have to stand there and fight everybody on the enemy team while your team runs away. I mean that you have to... Yeah, that was great Japanese battleship dispersion right there. All over the back of his ship, but didn't touch him. Now, it wasn't the greatest aim shot, I'll give it that, but seriously. Like, literally just everywhere but his ship. Anyway, when I say win your side, if you know that you're going to lose the fight, as far as there's 5 ships coming against you, okay? Maybe don't just stand there and take it. Okay? And this is something that I have to get better with as well, because I'm arrogant as hell. Even though I'm not the best player in the world, I prefer to stand there and fight 5 guys, 1v5, than run away from my side and potentially survive, but, you know, not have those moments. And the reason for that is mainly because of you guys. I like to make entertaining videos, and while 1v5s rarely work out in my favor, it makes for a heck of a video if it does. So, that's why I like to put myself in positions that aren't necessarily the most beneficial to me. It makes for more entertaining videos. However, not every video needs to be entertaining. Sometimes there are videos like this that showcase the importance of maintaining a side. Okay? Just because I know that this side is the weak side, we don't have a whole lot of help over here, doesn't mean I need to rush out there and get myself killed as quickly as possible. Sometimes you just need to hold as long as you can until the battle becomes better in your favor. Now, our Z-23 ran out there and is taking on everybody on the team all at once. Not a good play. He managed to take out their Akatsuki, like, very early on. He's doing some damage to, I believe, the Jervis at the moment. But he knows that there's an Odin, there is a Pensacola, and a Jervis right there. There's no reason for him to still be engaging these guys. He needs to just break engagement and get the heck out of there. There's no reason for him to stay in this fight. Just fall back and live to fight for another few minutes. Because coming in to the end of this match, your destroyer could come in real handy. But he doesn't. He goes down, and that leaves me and an Ochakov to defend this side versus an Odin, a Pensacola, and a Jervis. Now, obviously, Odin knows I'm here. I'm detected. And so we're going for that superstructure hit. We get okay, 5,000 damage off of that hit. Could have been better. Could have been worse. Managed to ricochet 6 shells off of him. Or 3 shells, sorry. But Odin's coming towards me. So I'm already anticipating a torp run by the Odin. We know that he has a Jervis out there as well. So we have to keep that in mind. And that's going to dictate what I do to engage this man. Because he has torps, and I just told the Ochakov, don't go out broadside in front of this guy, and the Ochakov goes right out there broadside on in front of him, and the Odin makes him pay for it. He's lucky to still be alive. I mean, the Ochakov in this match got as lucky as you can get in a cruiser that's getting just absolutely pummeled. Every time he's been hit, he's been citadeled. He's lost 2/3 of his health at this point. But the good thing about a Russian cruiser is you can fire such a distance that losing your health early in the match, I guess, isn't the worst thing that can happen to you, because people aren't guaranteed to hit you late in the game. If you keep your distance, it's very difficult to hit a shifty cruiser with anything. But Odin has decided that he does not want to engage me directly. And this is most likely for 2 different reasons. One, he doesn't feel like he can take me out quickly. Or 2, the people that were just with him have abandoned him. And sure enough, Pensacola spotted, headed back towards his base. Not a bad play by the Pensacola, but we get a shot off, and this Pensy is very, very lucky to not just be outright deleted. 3 overpins. I don't know where I hit him on his ship, but he got extremely lucky. Now, Odin puts some damage on us. Not real afraid of the Odin's little guns. They can do a lot of damage, but the turtleback armor of the Amagi's not usually going to give up a citadel, especially to that small of a gun at this range. So I'm not too worried about his gun. But we're going to run into some damage saturation issues. Now, what is the significant part of getting that Pensacola spotted running away? Well, guess what? He's in a division with the Jervis. Why would the Jervis stick around if his division mate's going back to defend the base? He's faster than his division mate at getting back to the base, right? So I've figured out at this point that the Jervis is likely disengaged, going back to fight the rest of the team. So I get another good hit here on the Odin's superstructure. He gets a good shot on me. I go ahead, put out the double fire, no problem. I've still got 2 heals left. I've got will to rebuild, worst case scenario. But I'm going to stay outside the torp range of this Odin. Now, I thought he was going to run aground, broadside on, so I get the AP shot into the side, hopefully. And he does turn in just in time, so we ricochet a lot off of him, don't get a whole lot of damage of it. And now we're looking at superstructure saturation. I'm going to fire one more shot of armor piercing, I believe, at his guns / superstructure to see what we can get out of it. Because at the end of the day, they don't recover AP damage as much as they do fire damage. So we're going to try to get that damage if we can. And yeah, you can see we're getting basically nothing. He's angled really well. We're not going to be able to do much. So we just do the next best thing. We're going to load the HE. If he's going to stay there bow tanking us, he's low health, I'll load a few salvos of HE and finish him off. We'll get almost guaranteed fires out of it. I mean, we got 10 guns looking right at the man at point blank range, even with Japanese battleship dispersion. Not going to do a whole lot, or not going to miss a whole lot of shells here. And this HE is disgusting. Japanese HE in particular is very, very good. And so we hit him there for 4,400. Didn't get a fire, of course. Anybody else would have got a fire, but not me. But anyway, he knows at this point there's nothing he can do. Okay, he's going to die. He can't sit there. He can angle all he wants against my HE. He's going to die. So he comes out. The Ochakov has dropped, or somebody's dropped torch as the destroyer. We get a fire finally on the man, and he comes out. Destroyer is dropping his torps. He's probably got his hydro running. Didn't take any of the torps from the destroyer, and I believe he actually ends up taking our destroyer out, which is another one of those unfortunate plays by a teammates. It's just like you literally didn't need to do that. Didn't need to do it, but people think that they're doing something. And this is one of those shots that you just like look back at and you're like, what happened to that shot? Like, I was aiming at him, and because he started to turn, the shells just completely missed. It threw off the aiming of the ship or something. I don't know how to explain it, but it's really annoying. But anyway, Odin's never going to survive the next shot. He's just not. So we're going to go ahead, get him loaded, fire all the guns, and finish him off. Down he goes. We go ahead and start switching back to AP. We've got an Iowa out here who's kind of broadside on. We don't have a very good shot. The mountain's too tall to shoot over. It takes too long to back up, so I decide to go forward. And so we're going to load the armor piercing, we're going to go forward, and this is where, after winning your side, you get those crossfires that you absolutely dream of in a battleship. Now, right now, you're probably looking at my damage going, Spartan, you only got 60,000 damage. But I've been in a fight out here. Like, this was no joke of a side. I mean, we had 2 destroyers over here. We had their Pensacola, their Odin. Like, they had some good ships over here. But, at the same time, we managed to win it and hold it. So now our team doesn't have to worry about getting flanked. And now we've got these beautiful crossfires. Broadside Iowa. Probably should have used my spotter plane on that shot. But he starts reversing off the island and probably saves his life for the first shot. He does take 1 citadel, but we only got him with 2 hits. We got 1 penetration and 1 citadel out of that entire salvo. If we'd have used our spotter plane, probably would have got a better hit. Iowa starts charging forward, and this is where we've got to make the choice. We're going to go ahead, shoot 1 gun at the Iowa, and then shoot the rest at the Jean Bart. We have our spotter plane active, so I'm fairly confident. Well, I said that. Now we've got our spotter plane active, and I'm fairly confident. There we take out the Iowa, and are we going to be able to finish the Jean Bart? Oh, we get some good hits. Get him with 9 out of the... What? We shot him with... 1, 2, 3... Yeah. We shot him with... How did we do that? We shot him with 8 shells and got 9 hits. Oh, wait, never mind. Never mind. 1 of the shells hit the Iowa. I was like, how did we only shoot... Yeah. Okay, never mind. I was looking at it wrong. But you can see we're just chewing this Jean Bart up. He's burning. That's a permafire. He's not gonna... We're not gonna need to worry about him the rest of the game. He's gonna be dead. We're about to sail behind the island over here. You can see right now that the Ochakov that's left on the enemy team is headed my direction. So I'm just preemptively trying to get out ahead of him. And you'll see in a moment I actually ping the map for the Bismarck to do something similar without going straight into the base. I understand the Bismarck's decision-making wanting to get into the base, but we have the points lead, so we're not losing unless we all die. Okay? He's too far away to get to the base. There's only 2.5 minutes left. But the Bismarck, instead of going like out and trying to get a better angle on the Ochakov, he's going to come towards the base, and that's going to give the Ochakov an avenue of approach where he can kind of come in unabated. And that's going to be the end of the Bismarck. Bismarck's going to completely throw this ending. But again, I understand the thought process. It was not a good play. So, it's one of those things that you learn from, right? So, you've got a kiting cruiser who can run away from you. You want to stay out ahead of him. With me being on this side and him being on that side, we can flank the guy, pinch him between us, and we would have a much better chance of taking him out. But because the Bismarck is chasing inside, trying to get into the base, he's got 2 islands between him and the cruiser, which means that cruiser can charge in and get torps on him. And that's exactly what the cruiser's going to do. This cruiser's no slouch. He knows what he's doing. And that Bismarck obviously had a lapse of judgment or just didn't think ahead. But we've got a shot at this Ochakov coming in on our Bismarck. We're going to aim a little high because I was sure that he was going to turn out once he saw me, and didn't quite turn out. But we get a lot of hits here, and he is very fortunate to survive that. Plunging fire from a battleship with 410 millimeter guns. I get it, I aimed high, but still. I thought that was the death of him, because that salvo was pretty nice. And then here, he's clearly turning out, trying to get away from our Ochakov. We're going to put the shots out ahead of him again. He's turning into it. There's nothing he can do. He's between 2 islands, so those shells are going to hit him. And sure enough, we hit him again, getting our high caliber, but only with a single round that time. But I kind of spread those rounds out. I wasn't sure how hard he was going to turn, if he was going to turn and go out, if he's going to beach himself. So I kind of spread those shells out a little bit. We got 117,000 damage. We got the win in the bag. And so this game's over. He gets behind the island. He can't spot me, so he can't shoot me. I can't spot him because he can't shoot me. And that's the end of the match. So it just goes to show you, even though Ochakov early on lost his hit points because he made a couple goofy mistakes, you can win your side without just sitting there and dying, okay? Try to use your brain. When I say win your side, it's not always just sit there and take it, okay? You can circle around and keep the enemy busy for a long time, okay? 1974 base XP, top of the leaderboard. Z23 that died very early, second on the leaderboard. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.